welcome this evening. Oh my goodness, I am super, super happy to be here with each and every one of you. And I'll tell you something, okay? My name is Niniola Fatah, and I'm the host of the Speaker Show. Now, for some of you who are just joining the Speaker Show for the first time, the Speaker Show is a place of inspiration, motivation, where minds are being liberated through reasoning. What does that mean? We encourage, we coach, we inspire because we believe very strongly that each and everyone has a dream, have a goal. There's something that has been deposited inside of you that the world needs to see. And we know that you cannot run that race by yourself. You need the right platform, right people around you. And that is why the Speaker Show is here to support you, to guide you in any way that we can. So I am excited to be here with you guys tonight. Okay. So now I'll tell you something. Tonight is going to be amazing. Trust me. Because whenever it comes to money, whenever it comes to finance, whenever it comes to anything that we have to do the calculation of the money, I am always excited. I'm a number one fan of those things. So, and like I've always said to you guys, when you come on the Speaker Show, don't forget it might not be for you, might be for someone else. But please do not forget to share, to like, because there are people out there that they need all this information. So please share the video, invite people, let them join, let them see what's going on, let them add knowledge to what they've known before. So please don't keep this to yourself. As you listen to this, as you're going to be here with us tonight, please, please, please start sharing with your friends. Let them join us live. And then we're going to be having a section for questions. So if there's anything that he has said or that he's going to say, that our guest is going to say, that is going to resonate with you, please just drop your question. He's going to be here. We're going to bombard him this evening because why? He's an expert at what he does. So we're going to bombard him with so much questions this evening. So everyone, join with me as I welcome my very, very dear friend, Mr. Adiola Abiodun, in our midst this evening.
Hi everyone. Good evening.
How are you?
Yeah, I'm fine. How's everyone doing?
Amazing.
Yeah, great to be here tonight.
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Sorry, I just brought you in like that. No worry, I didn't do the intro. I should have done the intro, but please just forgive me.
Okay.
So, all right. So we are excited to be here with you tonight, and then we are excited that you're here with us tonight. Okay, and majority of my audience, they don't know who you are. So please, if you can give a little bit of intro before we get into what we want to talk about tonight, that would be wonderful.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. My name is Adeola Abiodun, and I'm one of the senior national executive directors with Espero Financial Group. I've been in financial services now for over a decade, helping Canadian families, American families to build wealth. You know, and currently I have over 400 licensed agents that are working with me across Canada and United States. So that's what we do. And I help people to build wealth, retirement plan, anything finance is what we do, and we've been doing this now. We help so many families, and financial independence is something that we're really particular about. I so much love it. My goal is to see everybody becoming financially independent, and that's it. And I'm married. I'm married to Dr. Abimbola Abiodun, and by grace of God, we're blessed with three children. And so that's all I'm gonna say about myself.
Amazing. That's good. Thank you for telling us about your wife and your kids. That's good. Even though you didn't go in details, but that's okay. All right. Okay. So,
Yeah.
it's so nice to have an expert in the house. Okay. Because I know that, what you're doing, you've been doing it for so long. So I believe that, you are going to give a lot of education tonight. And I'm going to be having some wonderful questions for you tonight. And I hope you're ready, like I said earlier on.
Yeah.
All right, that's good. So tell us, you said that you've been in the industry for like decade. So how did that happen for you? How did that transition happen for you? What were you doing before? And how did you choose interest in becoming that person?
Yeah, I used to be an IT consultant with one of the Canadian banks called CIBC, and I was there, and as I was working there, I read a book called Rich Dad Poor Dad. When I read that book said you can be wealthy if you keep doing 9 to 5, or you doing a job, or you have a job, it can be wealthy, and that made me became curious. Then I started looking for what to do. Now, what can I do? I don't want to continue doing 9 to 5. I want to be wealthy in North America, And when I read that book, that opened my mind, and I started looking for what to do. So all the franchises I saw, the jobs, they are all, very expensive. So I was wondering, where am I going to see the money to do all this? I mean, to start a franchise, to start a business, it costs a lot to start a business.
Mhm.
And I pray to God that God should help me. That I don't want to come to North America and play small, because I knew if I don't make it in North America, where else am I going to make it? So, and I prayed to God that God should help me. Lo and behold, the guy came one day and he called me. He said, "Oh, Mr. D, I got an opportunity I want to share with you." And just showed me the business pattern, being in financial services and everything, the benefit. I'm going to become a business owner. I could do this, and, the income is, is, everybody needs what we do, and all that. And when he said that, that resonated with me, that everybody needs what we do. And I knew from the book that the best way to make money in life is when you render a service that everybody needs. That's how to make money. So now telling me now that finance is something everybody needs. Right there, I ran with it. I saw beyond what the guy told me that day, and that's how I came into financial services. And if I come another world, I will do this again and again. I'm telling you, I love it. And the income is, I'm telling you, it's so amazing right now. I'm telling you, there is no job I'm gonna do that's going to be fetching me what I'm making right now in financial services. I'm telling you, it's such a wonderful place. And God bless the guy who introduced me to the opportunity.
Amazing, amazing. That's good. When it comes to financial education, I feel that it is the core foundation of our lives.
Yeah,
If you don't have that education, you're just gonna spend your money wrongly. You're gonna spend your money like put it in the wrong places, and you would think as if you're doing the right thing.
yeah.
So it's beautiful, and then just the aspect of you wanting to just make extra money. I think that's the drive for us. You just want to make more money
Oh, I know.
because it's about the money at the end of the day. So with your experience, I want you to share with my audience this evening, you know best way that you think that like anyone that doesn't have financial education, they can actually gain that financial education. That's one. And also like how they can actually start planning for themselves, because many people want to save, and they don't know how to go around it. They don't know what to do. They struggle with it. So please share a little bit light.
Yeah. So thank you so much. That's a very good question. In North America, I've seen a lot of people. They work hard instead of working smart. A lot of people do 2 jobs, 3 jobs. At the end of the day, CRA in Canada or IRA in the United States, they come after them. They end up paying back a lot of money. So everybody should look for, even if you have a job, you must have a business by the side, because the business is going to help you to write off all expenses. The money you spent on your gas, the money you spend on your car or your gas, the money you spend on property tax, the money you spend on cars, the money you spend on your gas, the money you spend on flight tickets, all the expenses, laptop, you're gonna write it off when you're a business owner. But the guy who does 9 to 5, he can't do that. He doesn't have anything to write off. So that is smart way to live in a country like this. And I always tell my client all the time that you can't live in a country like this and you don't understand how the financial system work, how the financial system of the country works. That means you won't go far. So everybody needs to understand how the financial system of a wealthy country like this, a fast-paced environment like this, you need to understand how the system works, especially when it comes to finance. People who don't understand finance, you see them just living in the country, and you've seen a lot of people who have lived in the country for donkey years and they have nothing to show for it because they don't understand how to build the wealth, how to play the game. Building wealth in an environment like this is a game. So you need to understand how to play the financial game. So, and I want to encourage everyone. You need to understand how to play the game. It's a game. To build wealth here is a game. It's not just making money and all that. No, you need to understand the game. Where can I put the money? What about the taxes? If I make money, what about the taxes? How much tax am I going to pay? And we have a lot of investment vehicles that you could put money and withdraw your money tax free. So these are the things you need to know. It's not just investing money, but you're going to look at the areas. What are the places you can invest money and you don't pay tax on it. That's what smart people. That's why I tell people all the time that the difference between the rich and the poor is information, financial information. You need to carry it. So so you need for everybody to become financially independent, and that's the goal of everyone. That is why most of us came to a country like this. Even despite the cold and everything, we decided to come and live here. And because of that, we need to understand how the financial system of the country works. Except you just want to play small. But if you want to play big in an environment like this, you need to understand the game. So, and one of these ways of learning how to do it is when you sit down with people like us, and we have so many advisors out there that you can sit down with, and they teach you how to do it. But my platform, my company is hiring people right now. We're really hiring people to come to financial services, and it doesn't cost you a dime to join, to become a member. So you come and learn how you learn all those things, all this financial information, financial concept. When you come around, you're gonna learn all these things, and you can play, and we train you, and you become an advisor. And I'm telling you, you start playing the money game, and that's it.
Amazing. Amazing. That's good. Wow. That's good. So, with that being said, personally for you, how at the early stage, before you start making money, let's say even in your business or whatever, before you start making like, let's start with 100 grand, you know. So before you start making that, what kind of financial foundation did you start up with yourself?
Okay. So, the when it comes to financial foundation, it's like a pillar. It's like building a house. Anyone that does not know how to build a financial foundation is like building a house. Anyone that does not understand how to build a financial house, that person, that's why you see they ended up with debt and bankruptcy. That's one thing you see with a lot of people. A lot of Canadians right now into bankruptcy, serious debt, and all that because they don't understand how to build the financial house. So the first thing you do with your financial house, the first thing you do when it comes to building a financial foundation is what you protection. Protection is the bedrock of financial planning. You need to protect yourself. And what does protection mean? It means life insurance, disability insurance, critical illness insurance, insurance generally, long-term care insurance, or disability insurance, all kind of insurance. You need to protect yourself. That's how to build a foundation. That's one thing when it comes to building a financial foundation. That's the financial house. Because the guy who doesn't have a life insurance, who has a mortgage, is paying the children tuition fee, He's paying for car. He's taking care of his parents back home. He's doing so many things. Now, if that guy dies, or the guy becomes disabled, or the guy becomes critically ill, he can't go to work anymore. Who's going to be paying for all those things?
Mhm.
Who's going to take care of the parent? Who's going to be paying the mortgage? Who's going to be paying all those things? That is like if somebody lives in a country like this and you don't start with protection, have enough insurance coverage for yourself. That person is just deceiving yourself. And that's why in this part of environment, ignorance is not an excuse.
Mhm.
Some people say, "Oh, I don't know." No, a guy died here. A guy, I've seen a guy that died. I have a client that died in Winnipeg, and this guy died, and we did a $1.6 million insurance for this guy. And this guy got 1.6, the family got $1.6 million. Isn't that something? And how much has he paid? I don't think this guy has paid $10,000 into the insurance policy, and he died just like that. He slept and didn't wake up, and we processed the claim, and the family got $1.6 million. Isn't that something? You know,
Absolutely.
that's
Absolutely.
what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Now, the wife now got the money. She was able to pay off the house. She was able to pay off the mortgage. She was able to pay. She was able to pay for the children tuition and everything. That's a smart one. So that's what you do when it comes to building your financial house. Then you move upward again. Then you start paying your debt. We call it
Mhm.
debt management. You start paying all your debt. You know, anyone. This is an environment that is very easy to run into debt. You know,
Mhm. Mhm.
I'm telling you, and most people run into debt when their income is not up to their expenses,
Yes.
or some people live above their means. That's
Yes.
why a lot of people run into debt. After
Yes.
taking care of the debt, so after taking care of the debt, what's the next one we need to go? Then we look at savings part of it. Then that's when you start saving money and you do investment. Then you start putting money aside. You know, uh, one of the financial laws says everybody must save at least 6 times their income every month.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Mhm.
you must save 6 times your income into like emergency fund. And those are products we call like TFSA in Canada. We call it like TFSA in Canada, tax free savings account. We have, you save it there. It's tax free. You save it there and you put the money there. And 6 months that times your income. If anything happens, you have something you can fall back to. Sometimes people have emergency and they run to their credit card,
Mhm.
run into debt and all that. And when you do that, and that is how you can achieve financial independence, and you build a proper financial house, that you can say, you know what, I can retire at so age. So anyone that is not doing that, and it takes discipline to do all this though.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Absolutely.
So this is how we do all this. That's how you build it, and you can really
Mhm.
achieve your goals, financial goals.
Thank you for really sharing that. And I'll tell you this, what you said, like it is so true. I've seen situations of people that, they've told to, like, get protected, get insurance. And, this ideology of, like, I'm going to live a long life, I don't need this, because at the end of the day, we all just don't know when,
Yeah. I
so.
mean, sorry, let me say this. People don't know this. One of the things that is killing people now. I don't know what's happening in the society, in our community. People are dying of cancer. I don't know. Right now, it's becoming so rampant. A lot of people are dying of cancer and all that. And yet, some people don't have what we call critical illness insurance.
Mhm,
That means you don't like yourself, you don't like your family.
mhm,
No. Look at the code, everything. And you don't have insurance, you don't have something that is going to protect you. No. And also, we have something in like critical illness insurance, they call it critical illness, it protects you of 25 illnesses. Recently, I had a guy had HIV, occupational HIV. If you have critical illness, they're gonna pay that guy maybe $250,000. But today
Mhm.
now this guy, the other time I saw the wife, I said, oh my God, this guy can't do anything right now. He doesn't have money to pay bills. He doesn't have anything to do anything, and he did not have it, and he didn't do any insurance and all that. So these
Mhm.
are some of the things that affect many people in our community, and 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 this is a wake up call to everyone to wake
Mhm.
up and start doing something for themselves and for their families.
Wow. So thank you for sharing that. Thank you for sharing that. Because these things are just they're real. They're out there. And everyone needs to just protect themselves. And at the same time, you gotta save the money. So
Yeah,
tonight I want you to tell us, I know you mentioned emergency fund.
yeah,
So if there are people who are trying to start up, if
yeah.
there are people who are trying to start up and they need ideas on what would you advise them on how to start or how to build an emergency fund that leads to savings and all that.
Okay. So before I do investment for anybody, I have to do what we call know your client form. So I want to know my client.
Hmm.
What kind of client am I dealing with? What's your risk level?
Hmm.
How much is your income? What was the income? Because you have to know people. Somebody who is who doesn't have an income, how are you going to invest for that person?
Hmm.
So when you complete that form, I complete that form with all my clients. You
Hmm.
know your client form. I know them, so I know their income. I know their risk tolerance.
Hmm.
Some people say, "Oh, you know what, Till, my $10,000, I don't want nothing to touch it."
Hmm.
Some say I want to grow my $10,000 to $20,000. Some people say, you know what? Some people are ready to take some risk and all that. Some people don't want to take risk at all. So completing that form is going to help me know them. Then how long was the time horizon as well? How long am I going to invest the money for? So I need to know all these things so that I can put the money in the appropriate place that the guy can take. For example, look at some ignorant advisors when they go now they invest money in a client's money maybe chargeback three, they call it chargeback three. Chargeback three means you can't take that money out. If you take out that money in 3 years, then there's a penalty for doing that. They're going to deduct some money from the money.
Hmm.
So now the guy has, that means the client has to wait for 3 years. So that we call it CB3. Now, because if you do that now, you make, if the client waits for 3 years, then you make more money. But this guy on the form told you, I want my money in the next 1 year.
Hmm.
You put the money in Shabak 3.
Hmm.
Instead of putting it in like what we call front end,
Hmm.
we call it in investment, we call it front end. Put that kind of money there so that the guy could access the money anytime in the first year. Because the guy want to make more money now, he put it in 3 years. And
Hmm.
when the guy now he comes after 1 year, you want to take out the money, then you pay charges on it. So these are some, so that's the one thing I do with my client. I know them. I know the kind of investor they are, how long they want to invest the money for. So having known all those things, then I look at their income as well. Then I can now
Hmm.
now structure a plan for them. And one of the, when it comes to investing, there are three things you need to be aware of. Number one, discipline. It
Hmm.
takes discipline to save money.
Yes.
I tell my client all the time, no matter how much you earn, you must save at least 10% of that money.
Hmm.
It takes discipline to do that. Instead of buying natural B, instead of buying this, I know ladies like to do their hair, they like to spend money on hair, bags, shoes, and clothing and all that. But if you discipline yourself
Hmm.
and you start saving 10% of your money, of your income every month, take discipline to do that. When you cultivate that habit, I'm telling
Hmm.
you're going to become very successful in a country like this because we have funds, we have investment funds that's going
Hmm.
to grow over time. So that's number one. So that's number one D. Like I said, three D's of investment. Then number two, second D, I call it diversification.
Hmm.
Diversification simply means we invest the money in different funds. Maybe this one 20%, this one 30%, this one 40%. Everything has to be 100%. Why are we doing that? So that we mitigate losses. I mean, we mitigate. If this fund does not do well, then the other one will do well. You see what I mean? Uh,
Mm-hmm.
so that is how you do that. So you do, and the last D is what we call dollar cost averaging. Dollar
Mm-hmm.
cost averaging means even if I'm investing my $500 every month, or I'm investing any amount every month. Now, maybe you start investing money at $2 per unit. Maybe that's how you started. Maybe when the plan started. Now, maybe the market now fluctuates, and the money goes down to $1 per unit.
Mm-hmm.
What dollar cost, that dollar cost averaging says, even when the value drops, your money is going to be able to buy more units every month.
Mm-hmm.
You see, because some people say, "Oh, if I'm investing, what if the market doesn't? What if the market goes down?" Yeah, market shakes sometimes and all that. But we are in a bull market right now. Market is just up there. So if anything like that happens, dollar cost averaging. So now, when the value drops, your money is going to be able to buy more units every month. When the
Mm-hmm.
market becomes good, what happens? Now you have a large number of units. Then with high value, with the high uh, value of the unit. So that means you're going to make a lot of money. The plan. That means with that you can go down. So these are the three D's you need to master when it
Mm-hmm.
comes to investment. So once you do that, then you start putting something aside every month. And I'm telling you, this is a good place to invest money.
Mm-hmm.
Even when our people, when people steal money in all those countries, where did they bring the money?
Mm-hmm.
It down here to invest because they know that money saved in dollars
Mm-hmm.
is better than money saved in naira or any other denomination anywhere in the world. You know,
Mm-hmm.
so much better. And this is a developed country that you can't go wrong with it. Even if you are investing money, if the market does not do well, maybe the bank goes down or whatever, there's a
Mm-hmm.
thing called CDIC. They
Mm-hmm.
call them Canadian Deposit Insurance Corporation. Those guys will refund you large amount of that money. And it doesn't happen. Most companies don't go down.
Mm-hmm.
Even the same thing with insurance. Some people say, "Oh, I don't want the company to go down." What if the company goes down? There's another body called Assuris.
Mm-hmm.
Insurance, they protect those insurance companies and they can refund you which most subs. Yeah, those guys will refund you part of the money if anything happens. So unlike developing country that a company goes down or something happens and you lose everything. Yeah, it's not like that. So that's why it's good for every one of us living in the diaspora to start saving a lot of money, every month because you can't go wrong with it.
Good. Thank you. Thank you for sharing that. Thank you so much for sharing that. Like that was really, really insightful. So here is my next question. How do you approach managing debt while you're building a financial foundation at the same time?
Yeah, you before you start setting money aside, start investing, you have to pay off your debt because there's something called Rule of 72. In,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, Rule of 72. Rule of 72 means if you do 72 divided by interest rate.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say somebody who has a credit card of $10,000
Mm-hmm.
and they say the rules say maybe the interest rate, most credit card is always 19%, 20%. Now,
Mm-hmm.
so if you divide the 72 divided by the interest rate, which is 20%, that
Mm-hmm.
gives what? That gives you about 3.5 or something,
Mm-hmm.
approximately 3.5. So what does that mean? That means if that guy is carrying a credit card of $10,000, and in every 3 years, if he keep paying the minimum, in every 3 years, that $10,000 become double.
Mm-hmm.
That's why a lot of people say, "Oh, I'm paying my debt, but I don't see anything. It's not going down." That's what happened. So every 3.5 years, that 10,000 becomes $20,000 if you keep paying the minimum.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're owing anybody make sure you pay substantial part, you pay more than the minimum so that I can knock it off on time. And
Mhm.
we have a lot of strategies to help people to pay off the debt. So you pay off your debt first before you
Mhm.
start investing, or you pay it down to a certain level and start putting money aside. Because if you're paying that, if you're owing a credit card of 20% and you are investing somewhere, you are getting 10%. No, it doesn't make sense. So
Mhm.
you have to pay off. And if you have high credit cards, high interest rate credit card, you need to pay those ones off, or you can use the lower one, maybe like the one that they gave you for 6%, 8%. Use that 8% to pay off the 20% interest rate cards.
Mhm.
That will help you. Then you now knock off the 8% credit cards in no time. That's smart way of doing it. But you can't, people who hold when you are always living in debt, you're not happy. I've seen people
Mhm.
always happy. Those are the people who are always fighting everybody. They quarrel with everybody because they are holding so much debt. And
Yes.
somebody said a debtor is a servant to a lender. So it's not a
Mhm.
good thing. It's
Mhm.
not a good thing. It's not a good thing. So and people run into debt when they don't make enough income or they live above their means. So one of the best way to do it is, if you need to go get another job, get
Mhm.
another job. But I will encourage you. You can join us in business. You can join us in business. You make more money. You knock off those taxes. I mean, those debts in no time. Then you become
Mhm.
debt free. And when you become debt free, oh, what a joy that's going to come to your heart. And so, and also we have good debt. We have good debt. We have bad debt. Yeah, I need to
Mhm.
mention that.
Mhm.
Good debt. We have bad debt. Anything that takes money away from you to buy liabilities, that is bad debt.
Mhm.
But any money you get that helps
Mhm.
increase yourself, to help you improve yourself, that is
Mhm.
good debt. And
Mhm.
one of those things that people do is what we call OPM, other people's money. It's one of the secrets of the rich people. They call it
Mhm.
OPM, other people's money. They borrow money to invest.
Mhm.
You see some smart guys, they borrow money to build, to construct buildings, like what Donald Trump does. They use to construct high rise, and they pay
Mhm.
the bank back, and they made the money. Maybe at the end of the day, they borrowed $1 billion. They made
Mhm.
$3 billion. Then they pay back the $1 billion, and they made
Mhm.
a profit of $2 billion. That's
Mhm.
what smart people do. So that's what good debt.
Wow. Amazing. Thank you for sharing that. That one is very, very powerful. Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah.
Wow. So for the people who are here with us, so if there's anything that you would like to ask him, please don't forget to drop your questions. He's going to answer them for us, okay? And it's been very wonderful since. So so let's get going. I still have more questions for you. Okay? So my next question is this: what step you personally have you taken, or maybe before, like what step did you took, in order to improve or maintain your own credit score? Because in this part of the world, because we can talk about finance without talking about credit score,
Yeah.
because at the end of the day, in this part of the world, that it's like your identity. Wherever you go, it's like like a
Yeah.
stigma that goes around with you. So if you
Yeah.
have good credits, good for you. If you
Yeah.
have bad credit, good for you. It follows you. It's like
Yeah.
it's another part. It's like your SIN number that follows you
Yeah.
all over the place.
Yeah.
So when we talk about financial foundation, we cannot ignore the fact that people need to build proper credit score. So that's where my question comes from. That what step you personally, maybe probably at some point in your life, like you run into some debt, and people want to learn from experience, right?
Yeah.
So can
Yeah.
you please just share that experience with us?
Yeah, thank you so much. One of the things I did those days, when I came to financial services, I learned a lot. And one of the things I did is I started living, I started living below my means. If my income is $5,000, I live below the $5,000.
Mm-hmm.
When they are making sales, sometimes this is Christmas time now. This is the time that people run into debt big time. They tell
Mhm.
you buy one get one free. It's a gift.
Mhm. Even though you don't need it.
You don't need it. And people go, they buy and buy, they stock the house with a lot of stuff, they spend the money they don't have. One of the things is I realize if I don't have the money in my debit card, I don't spend the money on my credit card. So anything that is above if I don't have the money in my credit, in my debit card, I don't use my credit card. Is it that I save towards it? And
Mhm.
it didn't take discipline.
Mhm.
When I see my friend who's wearing a designer, I remember those days. When I started, my friend who were wearing designer shirts, they were wearing those things. They would buy a designer shoe. They were buying this. You know what I was doing? I won't buy. I will go to hardware store. This is just my own life experience. I
Mhm.
will go to a hardware store and buy shoes of $200. But these guys were wearing designer shoes of $2,000, 2005, 1005. There's nothing bad in wearing designers, but
Mhm.
what asset do you have? But you know
Mhm.
what I did? I will go to Ado and buy, I'll go to Ado, all these stores, I'll buy $200 shoes, maybe three pairs. I'll wear it there. But you know what I was doing? I was putting my money in real estate. I was investing heavily in real estate. Today now, that has turned us to what? To the glory of God, it has really helped us now to become financially independent. I'm telling
Mhm.
you, a lot of money now in the real estate that we made through that. And not only that, instead of doing what a lot of us we copy people. I used to do that because with my background, when I see my friend who's wearing this, I want to do, at the end of the day, that's how people copy people and they end up, you know, in debt. So I started buying today now, all those shoes, I can buy them. I buy them now easily. But those my friends of those days, some of them now they are still struggling. They are struggling financially.
Mhm.
I'm telling you. Now they are struggling. Some of them don't even have properties. Some of them don't even have one property. Some of them only have one. But because of discipline and what I knew, what I learned in financial services, that live below your means, and at the same time, the discipline to save money. The discipline has really helped me today to do a lot of stuff. And that's what I also do for my client. I help my client to discipline themselves. When they have a shake up financial need, they come to me, oh Dilla, I need some money. I tell them no, you can't take money from there. All my clients do me for that. I don't encourage them because we set a goal when we started the plan that the goal is to buy a house, the goal is to pay for the children education, this goal is to pay this, the goal is to buy a house. Why do you want to take the money now?
Mhm.
Maybe some people their goal is to, you know, do this. So when they come, I tell them no. Because when people start seeing their statement and they
Mhm.
see, oh, I have $10,000 there, I have
Mhm.
50,000, they want to take it.
Mhm. Mhm.
So
Mhm.
it takes a lot of discipline to do that. So that's how I discipline myself. And today, I, you know, I've been able to, to do. And at the same time,
Mhm.
what has also helped me is now as a businessman, as a business person, I can write off a lot of stuff.
Mhm.
I go to a restaurant to eat, I write it off. My car, I write it off. That's why we business people who drive Porsche cars, we write it off. But the guy who does 9 to 5 cannot do that. So the
Mhm.
lifestyle, you start living a lifestyle when you're a businessman,
Mhm.
when you have a business that you do.
Yes.
By the time your revenue, everything start going up, then you can live, you can do so many things with your money, you know.
Mhm.
But the guy who does not have a business,
Mhm.
I tell people all the time that this is a capitalist system.
Mhm.
It's a system that favors entrepreneurs.
Mhm.
Favors is built for entrepreneurs. The employees are just there to help the entrepreneurs fulfill their goals.
Mhm.
When you see sometimes when government is rolling out money, who are the people they give the money to? The business owners, entrepreneurs.
Mhm.
They don't give guy who does 9 to 5. No.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
we need to smart up and start
Mhm.
with that. all these things. And this is how somebody can. I'm telling you, Nini, I want to tell you this. Nobody in this country that does 9 to 5 can become wealthy. It's very hard.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Anybody that live paycheck to paychecks, that paycheck is just going to be able to pay bills.
Mm-hmm.
The money is never enough. Okay, let me do
Mm-hmm.
an analysis. Let me do an analysis. Let's say you're earning $100,000 a year,
Mm-hmm.
and your tax bracket is about, maybe your tax bracket is 26%, or let's say 30% or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
30% of 30%, they take all the taxes from you at the end of the year. Maybe your take home is going to be like 5,000 plus.
Mm-hmm.
6,000, let's say $6,000.
Mm-hmm.
After paying CPP, after paying this tax, paying that one, the provincial tax, the Ontario tax, you pay everything.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Maybe like 6,200 or something. An average home in Toronto right now, even a townhouse, goes for like $1 million right now. Even
Mm-hmm.
the market has come down. Now, your mortgage every month, on the mortgage, you're $1 million, because everybody, when you start making $100,000, you're thinking of buying a house. That guy
Mm-hmm.
will not qualify for a house. Nobody is going to give somebody who makes $100,000 a house.
Mm-hmm.
And at the end of the day, the mortgage is going to cost like almost $5,000. How is he going to survive after paying out of 6,000 plus 6,200 or 300,
Mm-hmm.
after paying a mortgage of $5,000? How is he going to pay property tax? How is he going to pay? How is he going to pay gas? How is he going to buy gas? How is he going to feed the family? How is he going to feed himself? How is he going to pay all those bills? How is he going to, you know, car insurance? He has to pay all that. At the end of the day, the money is not enough. You see what I mean? And that's what happens to so many people. And that's it. But when you have a business, you earn $100,000 a year. After, you can claim so many things. The system allows you to claim so many things that you pay less tax than the guy who works night, who lives on paycheck to paychecks. So these are some of the things that everybody needs to know, so that we wise up and start doing something. And that's why we're going to a new year now. People should make resolution that, you know what, I want to be debt free. And that's when you have an open mind and look at businesses you can do. If you join us in
Yes.
business, yeah, it's also a good thing. And this will help you to become financially, to be on your path to financial independence and pay off all the debt, and be on your path to financial independence. So that's it.
Wow,
That's
wow, wow. This is wonderful. Thank you so much for those education. Like they're very, very wonderful. They're very wonderful. You know, okay, so I'm gonna take one question from the audience and then I'll come back to me. All right,
okay.
so really quick. So someone is asking that how can someone start a business with insufficient fund to build it?
Okay. So it depends on the kind of business you want to do. There are some government funding available in Canada for people who want to do a business. Once you get the business registered, they have a lot of grants. See, there are some grants they give people out there. There are a lot of grants. Once you set it up, like I said, the people this is another thing that I tell people all the time. There are two things that define a man:
Mhm.
the books you read and the people you meet, the people you know. When you know the right people, they're gonna help you, connect you with they connect you with how with people who can help you with grants. There are some grants given to people, so you could get that, or you join people like us in business in financial services. It costs you zero. I'm telling you, it costs you zero to join us in financial services. It costs us zero to join. And you could start building that kind of business in Canada, United States, Puerto Rico, everywhere. I'm telling you, and the income is just unlimited. You
Mhm.
determine your income every month. And when you start to make, and you make very good income, and you help a lot of people, because these are stuff that everybody needs.
Mhm.
The guy who showed me this opportunity, what he showed me those days, I saw beyond what he showed me. And today, everybody now is a client. Everybody I meet is a potential client. So that's what we do. So look at a business you two can do. Like I said, there are government funding that they do all those things. You can approach them, or you talk to us after the meeting. Then I can show you some simple ways that even when you don't have anything, you can still start a business and you make good income from it.
Mhm. Wow. Thank you so much for that. That was great. That was really, really great. All right. So we're gonna take one more question and then we're gonna be coming to an end of it. Because trust me, there's still more questions to ask, but we just have to keep with our time. Okay, so the last question I'm gonna be asking you tonight is what advice would you give to someone who is just starting to build wealth? Excuse me.
Yeah, I like I said earlier on, you must have discipline. It has to be there must be a determination that I
Mhm.
want to build wealth. I want to start saving a significant part of my income every month. You know, so that is how it starts from. Because you can't force people. It has to come from somebody's mind. You have to be determined that what, every month I want to start saving something every month. Like I said, I tell my clients all the time that you must save at least 10% of your income every month. So this is how you start. You start, maybe you can start you with TFSA in Canada, or we
Mhm.
also call it Roth IRA in the United States. These are tax-free investment vehicle that you can start putting money into every month. You start putting the money there, and and at the same time, like I said, if you don't have protection on yourself, look for small thing, get protected, and start saving money,
Mhm.
and that's it. And if you don't have an advisor, you can talk to me. I can be of help. We can help you with discipline and consistency. I'm telling you, you can achieve financial independence in a wealthy country like this.
Amazing, amazing. Wow. So thank you so much. So for everyone who have listened to him, if you have any questions that you want to ask afterward, if there's any information that you'd like to know more about him, or like, how you can get involved with him, just send us an email on the speaker show at gmail.com, and then we'll forward it, we'll connect you with him. And yeah, and then we'll be more than happy to get you any help that you might need, when it comes to financial education. So with that being said, honestly, it's been a very, very great time with you. And I just want to say thank you so much for
Very
all this
welcome.
information that you shared with us tonight. Thank you. Thank you so much. I know
Thank
you're
you.
busy,
Thank
but
you
the
for
fact that
inviting me.
you
Mm.
you're very welcome. You're very welcome. You're very welcome. So I'm gonna let you go, and then before I let you go, just give us one general word of inspiration before we leave.
Yeah. So I want everybody to know that financial independence is not a dream. It's a priority. It's a must for everyone. And one of the richest men in the world said something. This echoes in my head all the time. This guy said, "You might be born poor, but if you die poor, it is your mistake. You
Mm.
can't be in a country like this, in a wealthy environment like this, and still remain poor. If you remain poor, it is your mistake." So thank you so much and have a good night.
Wow. Thank you so much for that. That's very powerful. I love that so much. Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh my. How you guys doing? Oh my goodness. That was such a very wonderful time with him. There was so much to learn. There was so much to gain from him tonight. Oh my goodness. I wish we had more time. We would have given him more questions for him to just shoot out for us. So, for everyone who have joined us, I want to say a very big thank you to each and every one of you. You guys are amazing. You guys are wonderful. But like I've always said, don't keep whatever information that you've heard. Don't keep it to yourself alone. Share with people, let people be of benefit of it. And then very importantly, we talked about financial, we talk about finance. So I will encourage each and everyone, get your finance together. And then if you have it going for you, wonderful, keep it going. Keep it going. You can't just live an ordinary life. See, that's what I said at the speaker show is about, imparting people's life, because we believe that each and every one of you, there's something special. And that's something special that has been given unto you is not just to settle for less, it's for you to reach beyond and beyond and beyond and beyond. So, I just want to encourage you, get your priorities right, set yourself together, start saving. If you've not been saving, start saving, start putting things together, invest your money in the right platform. And if you need more information, please do let us know. Send us an email or send us a message, on the on the under the video itself. Send us a message, and then we'll be more than happy to answer the question. We'll forward it to him, and if you need his contact, we can always get his contact for you. So I just want to say thank you so much to each and every one of you. It's such a very wonderful time with you, and I remain your host, your one and only Niniola Fatai. So thank you, and do have a very wonderful evening, and I will see you again next week Friday. Until then, relax and happy holiday, happy Christmas holiday season. Everybody's shopping, so go and shop and enjoy with your family. It's Friday evening. Thank you for being here with me one more time. So do have yourself a very wonderful evening, and I'll see you next week. Thank you, and bye everyone. Niniola Fatai. Bye now.